welcome here to Mugello as we head out for the Next Gen Racing's round number 3 of the Toyota GR86 Cup. And what a circuit we are heading out on here today, located in Tuscany in the Italian countryside. And of course, we aren't going to run the full layout. Oh no. We're going to do the short layout of the circuit here today instead, which means drivers will be turning off to the right, where normally they would turn off to the left as they go down Casanova and prepare themselves for a starting lap. You can see them in the distance there, joining back on to the start, finish straight, which is where they will appear out of the final turn. We are preparing for a fantastic evening of racing then, and we are giving something a go today that we hope you will enjoy. So if you head across to the link that is displayed in all of the descriptions or chats of each of the streams, then you can check out this wonderful live timing in the background and see it all as it goes. You have access to that, and we're just having a look to see how it works today, and hopefully it's something we'll be able to put to use in the future as well. And it'll be interesting to see each of the 3 races. You can keep up to date live on the live timing over there, so make sure you head across to the links that are displayed in each of the different chats. Well, good evening then to James Wright Broadcasting and NXTGEN Racing here tonight as we return for the 3rd round of racing action in the Toyota GR86s. We are, of course, running every other Tuesday in conjunction with the NXTGEN, and it has produced some great racing so far in our opening rounds, with race winners seeing 5 different race winners in the opening 6 races. Ben Oucher, the only driver to find himself to the very front of the order with more than once, is what I'm trying to say. He's the only one that has been able to do that twice. So it will be interesting to see what is going to be happening today with our race winners, whether we'll see repeats, whether we'll see drivers get back to the top. But what will be interesting, no doubt, is our championship, which we can have a look at for the first time here today, because we've not been able to have a peek at each of the drivers' positions are out of the opening 2 rounds, and we'll do our best to keep up to date throughout each of the 3 races as well. So without further ado then, let's have a little look at how the championship stands as we prepare for what is going to be the 3rd round of competition. Ben Oucher, the only man to take more than 1 victory so far this season, is the man who is at the top of the championship, 108 points to his name. He is 6 points clear of Jack Pittas, who runs on 102 points. It is then a further 8 points back down to Adam Wilson-Weir, who currently sits in P number 3. There's then a bit of a jump down to Lee Horn here. Lee Horn is on 80 points, 14 points back, another 10 points back to William Guthrie, before you then get another slew of drivers close together. Guthrie only 4 points clear of McCain. McCain 4 points clear of Phil McDougall as well. And then it is another jump down to Jamie Dory in P number 8. Ahead of the 2 close runners, Isaac Doble, Joshua Downing, 31 and 30 points respectively. We then have a look at our bottom of our standings and the rest of the drivers inside the top 20. Nigel Stock sits with 28 points, tied with Ross Gillette. Mark Kent sitting in 13th place, right, 21 points to his name. 18 points for Matthew Jordan, 17 apiece for Adrian Hernandez and Matt Gatta, 15 for Jack Brown, 13 points for Carl Thompson. Lewis Mason, the final driver with points on the board. And then it is then it is Mark Sykes in 20th position. And then a few drivers who are stepping in for the first time today, and therefore will be having a look to see what they can do with putting points on the board. We've got Gregory, Barry, Clibbins, Wade and Beckett all with 0 points to their name heading into this one. As we get ready to start, we say good evening to over on the Twitch page is over to Jerry Type 2. It is William Guthrie has openly admitted to driving the one-way round a roundabout in his own country. Hopefully, William Guthrie, who is quite a strong driver in this series, he's got himself up there a number of times. He's currently 17th position in this session, though. Hopefully, he finds himself the correct way around the circuit. There is no doubt about that. If you are watching this over on the Facebook page, though, and you are watching for the first time, make sure you're hitting that follow button, you're following the page over there, and you're hitting the thumbs up and sharing this with your friends and family as well. If you're watching over on the NXTGEN YouTube page, make sure that you are hitting the subscribe button over there. You'll be notified when we go live for all things NXTGEN. We've got the Toyotas every other week. We have then got the NXTCC on the alternate Tuesdays. And of course, the GT3 Championship is back on your screens. Round number 3 and the first endurance round of the season coming up this Thursday. Do not miss it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'll be notified when we go live. And if you're watching over on the Joseph Wright Broadcasting YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button over there, as we will get our highlights available within the next week or two as well, so you can catch up with all of the opening rounds of the season in short form. And if you're watching over on the Joseph Wright Broadcasting Twitch page, make sure you hit and follow over there. And on Joseph Wright Broadcasting, we've got a whole week's worth of broadcasting once more. We've got another super weekend coming up this weekend, as we've got 2 touring car actions series going out on Friday. We've got the next round of the Matt Malone Patreon League on Saturday, alongside the next round of the WEC Classic. And then, of course, we've got the Lame Sheep Racing's touring cars and Porsches on the Sundays. Make sure you hit the follow button, the subscribe button for Joseph Wright Broadcasting. You won't miss any of the racing action. What is there to miss here, though? Well, there's a lot coming up still in the championship as we head out for only the 3rd round of competition here at Mugello. We head out again in 2 weeks' time when we head out towards Hockenheim for round number 4 on April 14th. Then on April 28th, we will be heading across to Zolder, round number 5, as we go to the Belgian countryside for that one. And what an amazing circuit Zolder is as well. It's going to be interesting to see these Toyotas head around. An interesting one, but going to be a fun one. Willow Springs will be the 6th round of competition on May 12th, and then the final and 7th round of the season heads to Interlagos on May 26th. We'll be ending off the Toyotas, but we are certainly going to have another season of something coming up after that one. So make sure that you are heading across to the NXTGEN Racing's Discord. Get yourself involved. Still spaces available in the Toyotas for the remainder of the season. So if you want to get yourself down and behind the wheel of these machines, make sure you are heading across to the NXTGEN Racing's Discord page to do that. We have got a great evening of racing coming your way then, with the way that these events work. 3 races preparing to go out, as we have 2 shorter races followed by the final race. In race number 1, your grid is going to be set by the order of qualifying, which will be coming up in about 7 minutes time. Race number 2 will be set by the results of race number 1, with your top 15 inverted. Means 15th place will start from pole position. And in the 3rd race of the day, you're going to take the results from race number 2, but your entire field, as long as you are no more than 1 lap down, will be inverted, and you'll find yourself starting at the very front of that one if you've had a very bad race number 2, which has played out in quite helpful fashion, actually, to Lee Horn back at Okayama. Of course, Horn having a terrible race number 1, a terrible race number 2. The invert completely helping him there to take that victory in the final race, because he showed some great pace, did Lee, in the first round of the season back at Okayama. He just wasn't having the luck. He had a bit of contact, went around a number of times, found himself at the back, but then he found himself to the front with the full invert. It really does invite you back into it after it all is said and done, and it's nice to see so many drivers getting down there once more, and like I said, a number of new names heading out there for the first time this season as well. Under that, we've got Michael Wade heading out for the first time this season, Mark Sykes, we've got Dan Beckett, Carl Thompson, all heading out for the first time this season. So it is going to be interesting to see how they get on in these fantastic Toyotas. And for the first time this evening, we will get down into the commentary box and welcome you across. Hello to Joseph Wright Broadcasting as we prepare to bring you all of the racing action over the next, I want to say, about 2.5 hours, just close to 3 hours by the time we're actually finished with this. Of course, the way that this series works is we do need to take breaks between each of the races as the sessions get set up, because they're each in individual server, which means that at the end of race number 1, when you see the timing screen come back up and we have that little break screen, don't go anywhere, stick around, we've got more racing coming up. Now, if you are here and you are here for the first time, well, welcome into NXTGEN Racing. It is a fantastic community, and we've got a lot of drivers who race across all 3 of the championships that are currently ongoing. I race in 2 of them myself. I race in the NXTCC and the GT3 Championship. I would be down there in the Toyotas, but unfortunately stuck in the commentary box. However, even though I'm not behind the wheel, I think we've got the best view of the racing action from up here. At the end of every race as well, we get to talk to a few of the drivers. So you'll hear the voices from those that are behind the wheel, and they'll talk about how their races have gone and what they expect out of the future. However, we have had a lot of commentator cursing in the Toyotas as I speak to somebody and then they have an issue in the following race. It seems to happen actually no matter where I go and who I talk to. They seem to have some sort of an issue. I'm a bit of a recluse for that, because apparently I give bad luck to other people. I'm hoping it's just commentators curse while I'm live and it's not something that can extend into the real life. If you're watching over on any of the Twitch streams, or any of the streams, sorry, the Twitch, the Facebook, the YouTubes, make sure that you are hitting a comment in there and I'll say hello to you. And you let me know who you're watching, who are you supporting as well. We've got a lot of drivers out there that get a lot of support, so let us know who you are here to cheer on as we prepare for qualifying. Of course, the qualifying in this series, it's not get out there and do it on your own like we see in the official iRacing series. Oh no. They're going to be heading out there with other drivers, which on a circuit like this is going to be very interesting. You need the tow along the main straight. There is no doubt about that. Without a tow, you aren't going to find yourself at the very front. But how close do you get to the next driver is key, because you're going to be behind them through the first sector of the full Mugello circuit, which ultimately are just left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. That's basically all it is. Apart from the main straight, it is essentially an oval with a bit of ziggy-zags in there as we look at this circuit. And we do prepare to go out on this track then with, at the moment, 21 drivers, which is a great field. If you want to make it even bigger, though, head over to NXTGEN Racing's Discord page, get yourself involved today, and join us in 2 weeks' time. Right then, good evening over to George Plaster over on the YouTube. I hope you are doing okay and in looking forward to this one. I certainly am looking forward to this one. It's going to be great, and if you want to keep up to date with all of the live timing as it comes at you, well, I've got you. We have got live timing available today for the first time. We're giving it a little bit of a test, and hopefully it will work all okay. So make sure you let us know how you find that, and we'll see how we get on with it. So check out the link that is either in any of the chats, actually. You can click on there and go and give that a go and see what it's all about, and hopefully it will be working all okay. Right then, practice is coming up to a close here, and we are about to begin our qualifying session with drivers going to be heading out to place it onto pole position. Now, as I had a little bit of a look at some of the point system, which was definitely in place, Jamie Dory has definitely put in a very good championship standing system that is currently being utilised, definitely. I had a look, and it looks like we're getting bonus points, 5 bonus points for the fastest lap in each session, 5 bonus points for pole position as well, which makes qualifying even more important, as it does the fastest laps in the race, because those 5 bonus points can have a significant impact, as it has done with the very top of the championship. As we also say hello and good evening to Lee Horn over on the YouTube as well, but unfortunately not able to get out on track after going out to the virtual Portland International Raceway last week. It looks like Lee is stuck on his way back on from a trip to Poland, which is the different way across the waters around the UK. I hope you've had a good time out in Poland, though. And we prepare then for qualifying. The session here in practice ticks to a close, and our 22 drivers, I should say 21, because Benji McCluskey is out there as our safety car driver, of course. He is our race director, and will not be getting out in a racing format. We are going to be seeing how the rest of our drivers get going out here in qualifying. 15 minutes on the board in qualifying for our drivers, and it is going to be interesting to see what they are able to do. And as they come out here, we'll just give you a little bit of a reminder of your standings. I'm unsure why there is someone who is unavailable for comment in P4. I think that is Lee Horn, actually, who's unavailable for comment in P4 there. But the GR86 standings there on your right-hand side. We can keep a little bit up to date and see how they are going with that. And with that being said as well, it is going to be interesting to see if we can just make sure all of our point systems and everything are working today. So there might be a little bit of messing around with stuff in the background, but that's how it occasionally goes for things like this. Right then, we head up towards the end of the lap. Drivers have decided they want to get as close to each other as possibly can during this qualifying session. Some moving across to the right-hand side here, William Guthrie being one of those, not wanting to be in that massive train. Of course, the tow is going to be very, very useful, but they are going to be at a detriment later in the lap. And as we have a look at our weather here, it's not going to rain at all, it's very dry. But my word, is it windy out there today. 70 kilometers an hour southwest winds, which on this circuit will be pushing them from behind along the main straight. Nigel Stock gets himself turned into turn number 1, got a nice tow there along the main straight, and now doesn't have anyone ahead of him, which is good through the corners. Of course, it will impact him at the very end of the lap, but he had a nice bit of tow to start with, and now he needs to get around the rest of this one. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do, as other drivers also come to put in lap times, and we will get our first lap times on the board in just a moment's time. Benjamin Gregory is the first across the board, beaten to the top by Ben Oucher there. Isaac Doble then goes even faster, just 7,000ths of a second. But I think this is going to be a very tight qualifying session with so many drivers heading out there, so many drivers looking for support and looking to work together as they put in their laps. And this is Jamie Dory right now in the middle of this train of drivers. And as you can see, between your top 5 right now, all half a second from the front. Doble and Oucher only 7,000ths of a second apart from each other right now. 12 minutes on the clock, and let's have a little bit of a look to see if any of my systems are working. We shall have a look in just one moment's time as Jamie Dory comes out the final corner. A lot of cars diving out the way here. I think it is quite a small circuit when you look at this layout, so diving out of the way, trying not to impact any lap times is important for each of our drivers, and we will see if this is working well. And Nick Clibbins is not inside our top 10, so I cannot tell if this is working well or not. We need to go find Nick Clibbins on the right-hand side. Where is Clibbins? It is not showing Nick Clibbins gaining those 5 points, which is what I wanted it to be doing. So that is what we are messing around with here as I try to get these, as that was around heavy in the background there. One of the Type 2 drift machines. It was Jonathan Berry. It was Jonathan Berry who went around there in all of that. As we hide that once more, because I definitely cannot see this one working, but that's okay. As we watch Clibbins come down towards the end of the lap and through the final turn, he backs out of this lap, moving across to the side so he doesn't get himself involved in that one. And he now comes across the line and will start a new one, but it will be a very slow lap time for him, of course. Carl Thompson is running around in the 774 machine, getting a bit of a tow ahead from, let's figure it out, it's Dan Beckett. Beckett, one of our new drivers that are heading out there for the first time this season today. So just seeing what he can do with this as we come around turn number 1 and up towards turn 2, which swings across to the left. In fact, let's go on board with the man we saw spinning a moment ago, Jonathan Berry here. We are going to get a lap on board with Berry. He is chasing down Benjamin Gregory and Ben Oucher. They're the 2 drivers ahead, but we ride on board with Berry here for a lap of the Mugello short circuit. We push to the left-hand side of the circuit, slam on the brakes and swing in towards the right-hand side for Berry of turn number 1. You don't want to keep it to the right-hand side of the circuit so that you can swing it across to the left here, and it swaps back across to the right, and that's essentially all the circuit is, because we're going to get another one of those, as that was Gregory backing out of his lap time. Still getting the tow here from Oucher is Jonathan Berry as he goes through 4 and 5. Up towards turn number 6 here, which is down the hill, and of course in the full layout you swing to the left. Not here though, we stick to the left hand side because we swing across to the right out the final corner, and Jonathan Berry backs out of his lap time to find himself towards the back of that train of drivers again. We watch Jamie Dory now up towards the timing line as Isaac Doble finds himself back on pole position out front. He slows down a little bit though to give up on this lap time, and now we have Adam Wilson-Weir heading around, and I've hit the complete wrong button as I like to do all of the time. I do apologise. I hit that button a fair lot that just hides everything. I need to move where that button is, I think. Right then, up towards turn number 1 for Adam Wilson-Weir. He is getting the tow here from, I believe that is Ross Gillette, just up ahead of him. He moves to the right-hand side. Gillette backs out of it, which means Wilson-Weir is going to have an opportunity here to get that tow at the beginning, and now on the left lap unhindered. However, it does mean he doesn't have any support through any of the remaining straights here, which will impact his lap time. Fastest so far of a 1:02.998, which we should say is identical to Nigel Stock's lap time, 1:02.998 from both of them. Out of the final corner here for Adam Wilson-Weir. He heads up towards the timing line, but he once again backs out of it. I feel like that's just happening quite often now. Drivers just being left alone, they back out of it, and that is a car sideways. I think that was Mark Sykes who was just sideways out of the final corner there. It certainly was. What happened to Sykes? Pushed it a bit too hard out of the final turn, and a big hit with the wall there, and he finds himself down pit lane with 6 minutes left to go. Hernandez going slowly here looking to try and find some support. That was Jack Pittas going through, but if anything, if we've learned anything from the previous runs, Pittas is now going to back out, which he certainly does. Leaves Hernandez on his own once more. This is very much the game that is being played at the moment, is trying to find who is going to move forward, who is going to back out, who is going to be going for those times. Alan McCain, the only driver without any times out on the board right now. He's running in P21, but without that time on the board as Gillette improves past Dan Beckett there. We'll have I've hit the wrong button again, guys. That's it. I'm going to have to change my buttons at the end of this one, because I've hit that hide overlay button constantly throughout all of this. Right then, let's have a little bit of a look to see if my championship standings are working as intended with Isaac Doble. No, it's not showing him gaining those extra points, even though he has got the fastest lap in this session. I don't know why. I don't know the way. But there we go. It is the way of asking. And unfortunately, the way of asking is I'll have to do it manually at the end, which is always the fun. Right then, through turn number 1 for Alan McCain here, chasing down a first lap time. He did put in a lap time last time around, but it was a 104.771, which not only is the slowest out there, it was an invalid lap. Now, McCain has absolutely no one around him. If he drops back a bit, he does have Berry and Gregory chasing up. Will he decide to back out, or is he just going to keep on going with the laps? At the moment, his choice is just keep on going with his laps. Let's see what he can do. Probably just trying to get in a valid lap in itself right now, as McCain comes around the final corner. We've got 4 minutes on the board here with a lap time just over 1 minute long. They will be looking at about 3 more laps of asking, potentially 4, as McCain did have someone ahead of him just for a moment there, but now on his own. Last lap time, fortunately, was valid for Alan McCain. He is going to find a time on the board, but without any tow, without any support, he has found his time on the board, the slowest of them all right now. It was 0.3 quicker than his previous lap, which was invalidated though, so it was an improvement. He'll be seeing if he can once again improve out here for McCain, as he does have, that is Matt Gatter, who is in P19 just behind, who backed out for the tow, and in fact he backs out even more there. Probably concerned about how much he was getting onto the rear of McCain, wanting to follow someone else potentially. Mark Kent moves up into 10th position after his lap time as Alan McCain comes across the line. It is an improvement, and it is good enough for 18th position. The top 16 here within 1 second of each other. Isaac Doble and Nick Clibbins are separated by just 31 hundredths of a second. It is incredibly close between the two of them as they head up towards turn number 1. And no matter where you are watching today, I hope you are enjoying the qualifying session so far. We've got 3 races coming your way, and whatever it is that you're watching on, hit that follow, subscribe, whatever button it is, to show your support and to get notified when we are live. And on Next Gen Racing, we'll be live again on Thursday for the first endurance round of the GT3 Championship. It's round number 3 as we head to Road America for that one. And of course, next Tuesday on Next Gen, we'll have the NXTCC and round number 6 off the back of the endurance round at Bathurst. We are back to our 3 usual race format. And if you're watching over on the Joseph Wright broadcasting channels, we've got lots coming up this weekend, as we do every single week, at least 5 broadcasts a week over there. So make sure that you hit the follows button, subscribe button, so you're notified when we go live and you don't miss any of the racing action. Matt Gatter here, still trying to improve on his lap time. He is down in 21st position at the moment. No support ahead of him. Is bringing around Benjamin Gregory with him. So giving Gregory a good advantage there. In fact, he moves to the right-hand side, allows Gregory through, and actually the support that he just gave Gregory, he'll be hoping that Gregory gives the same support back here. We come through the final turn and up towards the timing line. Will Matt Gatter get the support? He's the slowest out there right now, and no, he is not. After giving the support to Benjamin Gregory, Gregory does not give the support back. Jamie Dory just up the way though, is getting support from Alan McCain in the way of a tow along the main straight. He's going to be hoping it doesn't hinder him through the corners, as it needs to beat a 1:03.005 to go past his own lap. He gets right onto the back of McCain. McCain pushes it deep. Dory is going to get the fast exit here, but is McCain going to give him enough room? There's just about enough room there. McCain backs out of it. Dory stays within track limits. Is this going to be an improvement on his previous time? With how hard he was pushing there and he didn't back out of it, I would say that his delta was very likely up over what it was previously. Dory crosses the line. It is! It's a 1:02.880. It's good enough for third position from Jamie Dory. Your top three separated by less than a tenth. Your top 16 separated by less than a second. The whole field separated by 1.5 seconds. It is close out there, and no classes, of course, means that drivers are going to be fighting for every single position, and it really, really does matter. We're just waiting for the last few drivers to come across the timing line and finish their lap. In fact, I believe that Adam Wilson-Weir was the last driver to need to cross the lap time, but he has come down pit lane, which means this qualifying session is going to be done, and we prepare for race number 1 here. The grid set by our results in qualifying. Isaac Doble finds himself on pole position for the first time this season, and he will start there alongside Nick Clibbins. Jamie Dory, just missing out on the front row, will start in P3 ahead of Adam Wilson-Weir. Nigel Stock will start in 5th place ahead of Jack Pittas in 6th. Ben Oucher will start this first race of the day from 7th position ahead of Adrian Ruiz Hernandez in 8th. Benjamin Gregory will start in 9th place, and Mark Kent will round out your top 10 in the first grid of the day. William Guthrie will be starting from 11th position. Phil McDougall from 12th place on the grid. 13th for Mark Sykes, ahead of Jonathan Berry. Michael Wade starts in 15th place, ahead of Joshua Downing. Carl Thompson from 17th place, and Ross Gillette will start this one in 18th. Alan McCain will be on the grid in 19th position, ahead of Dan Beckett. And Matt Gatter will be in 21st and last on your grid to make this a very full grid to prepare to go out racing. And this should be a good one. Let us know in any of the chats who you're supporting here today as we prepare to go racing for the first race of the day. 15 laps on the board for this one. No, 15 minutes, I should say. It doesn't look like we have got laps in this one. It looks like we've got time. That being said, it would have been 15 minutes about that anyway, and 15 laps with the time being just over a minute. We might only go to 14, actually. We shall have to wait and see, as drivers are all out there. What great camera angles that one was. Right, here we go to prepare for race number 1. 15 laps on the board. We are green and away. race of round number 3. It settles down single file with Isaac Doble ahead of Nick Clibbins at the front. Behind, however, it is anything but single file. Drivers going 3 wide already, potentially even 4 wide here up towards turn number 1. Somehow we settle it down in 3 wide instead of the 4 wide, but there's the contact that you knew was coming. 2 cars around. Are any more going to get involved? Yes, contact there for Jonathan Berry as well. Who was the one that went around? It looked like it was Michael Wade who went around. Now Phil McDougall and Carl Thompson also involved in that one, as it's side by side in the middle of the pack here. Pittas and Nigel Stock now looking for 6th position, with Stock to the inside. It's turn number 6. He has to back out of that one, and Pittas holds on to it for the time being. But they come out of the first lap of this race, and straight away lots of cars finding themselves off the circuit in the background there. As this is Joshua Downing and Mark Sykes, it looks like, having a little bit of a going at it, as Downing stays ahead of Sykes. It was Sykes who found his way off the circuit. Of course, we saw something similar in qualifying, and he found himself going around in that one. Right then, back up towards the front, because Ben Oucher gets to the inside of Jamie Dory here, and that's a nice new livery on the full tilt machine, as Adam Wilson-Weir goes to the inside of Nick Clibbins for P number 2. He'll have to wait behind for the time being in 3rd place as we come up towards the end of the lap. Pittas running that slightly tighter line there, doesn't really turn into anything for him, even though he is really trying, as Jamie Dory pushes way too hard out of the final turn. A big kick and oversteer on the grass as well, and now he has to recover from that one, falling behind the Type 2 racing machine, and now has the gassed up motorsport machine of Adrian Hernandez to his inside. Hernandez looking to try and make the move for 6th position. You've got Benjamin Gregory just behind as well, looking to take advantage of the issues that were ongoing for Dory, as he's fallen down multiple places. That's a slide there for Hernandez. Dory bumps into his rear bumper there, now moves to the right hand side, but that is Gregory to the inside of Jamie Dory instead. And Dory, after being up in 5th position before the last corner last lap, in just 1 lap's time, he has managed to fall down to 8th place. Mark Kent here looks to the inside of Joshua Downing, can't quite do it as Downing has allowed Berry to go through. Berry, of course, was included in the opening lap accident, and Jamie Dory has gone around at the final turn yet again. This time he holds it. It looks like there might have been contact there with Nigel Stock. Dory pushes off hard wide. No, Stock has his own issues. Dory's having his issues, and he finds himself spinning around and down the order. Now then, let's go back to the opening lap action here. There's the contact for William Guthrie. He gets sent around, and then more cars just getting involved in that one, including Michael Wade, who was caught up at the end, nowhere to go. Tried to move to the left, couldn't quite do it, and at the last moment ducked to the right hand side, but it was too late to avoid contact. William Guthrie here slowing down and allowing Wade and Dory through. He's had some further issues in this race, as we've have a little look here. It just looked like he is just slow as he pulls over to the side and lets them through. What's happened to Jonathan Berry then? Berry's also had an issue, and he has found himself spinning around in this one. And as we come back live, Joshua Downing is super slow out of the final turn, but we're 3 wide for the lead in this one. Wilson-Weir to the grass. Clibbins and Doble are side by side. Clibbins has that inside there and moves through for the lead of this race. Isaac Doble down into 2nd position. Oucher now looking to try and fight with Wilson-Weir. Pittas on the rear of that one as well, and that's Wilson-Weir wide, and Ben Oucher to the inside, and he makes the move through. And that is going to be Ben Oucher up to third position. Adam Wilson-Weir, it looked for a moment that he was going to try and move for the lead. He can do it as Oucher finds himself off the circuit in the final turn. Through goes Wilson-Weir, and here comes Jack Pittas as well to try and do something about this one. Isaac Doble is going to look back for the lead of the race here through turn number 1. He's stuck on the outside, as that is Wilson-Weir on the outside of Pittas as well. But Doble cannot make his way through. Wilson-Weir stays ahead of Pittas right now as Benjamin Gregory and Nigel Stock change positions behind for 7th and 8th place. And Jamie Dory looking to try and move back up the order, gets around the outside of newcomer Dan Beckett and gets into 16th place of asking right now, as that's a little bit of contact going up ahead. Matt Gatton nudged by Carl Thompson. Thompson's opened the door here for Phil McDougall, but Thompson is able to carry just enough speed there and holds on to 14th position as we come down the hill now and up towards the end of the lap. Of course, running the short layout here, as Adam Wilson-Weir now looking to try and get past Isaac Doble for the lead in this race, and he goes towards the inside line there, sorry, the outside line there, up through turn number 1. It switches across to the inside line for Wilson-Weir, has a little bit of a wobble though, and Isaac Doble is just able to keep himself ahead as Nigel Stock is trying to get his way past Adrian Hernandez here and up into 7th position. He certainly can do that. There's a fight in the background as well. Michael Wade chasing down, trying to get past Dan Beckett around the outside. They've got Carl Thompson just behind, as it looks like Thompson's had some sort of issue to fall back down to where he is now, as that's Wade looking to the inside of turn number 6, in trying to get past Beckett, but it won't turn into anything along the final few corners. It could do something up towards turn number 1 though, and a scattering of cars, as that was Mark Sykes is disqualifying again because he's into the wall, into the pit wall on the main straight yet again. Phil McDougall ahead of Jamie Dory here. Dory looks to the inside to try and keep it ahead of Gatta, and that is Joshua Downing now trying to get himself involved. Dory keeps himself side by side with McDougall, but for the time being, Phil McDougall can just keep himself ahead. This is what happened to Mark Sykes. Onto the grass, a big old whop, and it's a hit on the outside wall actually this time for him. Broken left front suspension, and there is nothing he can do at that point. The car is toast, the engine's toast, and the suspension absolutely destroyed at that point. Back towards your lead lap fight here as we watch Isaac Doble look to get it to the inside of Nick Clibbins for the lead of the race. Clibbins wobbles, and here comes Adam Wilson-Weir to take full advantage. He pushes hard, he moves through into second. Could Wilson-Weir go side by side with Doble just for a moment? He stuck his nose in there. Clibbins coming back at it though in the fight for the lead. They are going hard at it for second right now. That was Pittas moving behind Wilson-Weir, trying to help his teammate and follow his teammate through, but it is Clibbins who stays out ahead, and now Pittas wants to get past Wilson-Weir and have a go at this himself. Wilson-Weir drops behind and is now the man under attack from Ben Oucher, who is chasing in from the rear end. Up towards the timing line here. Isaac Doble gaining a little bit on that lap, but of course the tow is going to pull everyone back into it. As we come up towards turn number 1, Wilson-Weir looks to the inside of Pittas, trying to regain that move. Pittas though looking to try and around the outside of Clibbins, and that is Ben Oucher as Pittas goes slow, who has now run side by side. Ben Oucher looking to move through for 4th position, and he does. And Jack Pittas falls down to P number 5. This is an extremely fun fight to watch, and you can see how that's going to impact the championship right now, with Oucher pulling the points. Adam Wilson-Weir is going to be finding himself in 2nd right now past Pittas. These results really do mean a lot for Adam Wilson-Weir as he comes through the final turn up towards the timing line here. And across the timing line they go, and it is going to stay single file for the time being. Alan McCain is going to have to come down pit lane for a penalty, as that is Hernandez, who is very slow out of the final turn. What has happened to Agent Hernandez? It's a slide, and it's a Mark Sykes incident. He didn't get thrown across the circuit like we saw Sykes, however. That is Alan McCain looking to try and get up the inside of Mark Kent. It won't be anything doing for him, and Adam Wilson-Weir falls to the rear of this train. Contact there with Ben Oucher, wobbles onto the grass. Back live here, and Oucher is relinquishing the positions. He doesn't want to take the position past Wilson-Weir with contact. So Ben Oucher decides he is going to back out of it. He is going to give Wilson-Weir the position back, but it also meant giving up position to Pittas. That was Wilson-Weir onto the grass there with a bit of a slide. He holds it together though. Dan Beckett leads his train of himself, Thompson and Gatta right now in the fight for 14th, 15th and 16th. These are the bottom end of the points, and there's contact, and Carl Thompson comes together with Dan Beckett, and Thompson finds himself around. Beckett will lose out on points as he falls down to 17th position. Jonathan Barry, after finding himself around, is only a single point away from, single place away from a point here, which will be taken by Hernandez. Sorry, will be taken by Guthrie at this stage. It looks like Hernandez has had another issue. This is interesting. He's received a meatball flag coming down. No, that was clearing it. My bad. That was clearing the meatball flag. I thought he received it coming down pit lane. That's certainly not what happened. Right, we go back towards the fight at the front. Isaac Doble looks like he is going to take the victory in this one, but the fight for P2 is on, or at least it was, until Nick Clibbins backed out. I think that may have been a slowdown, potentially, out of the final few corners, because Clibbins has just relinquished a podium position to the two Type 2 racing machines. It is Ben Oucher at the rear of this, thinking, okay, I've been able to get through once with contact. Can I do it cleanly this time? We ride on board with Ben Oucher, looking ahead at Clibbins and Wilson-Weir. Of course, Clibbins started this race in P number 2. Pittas, one of your biggest gainers. He started in 6th, he's up to 7th. 2nd, I should say, he's up 4 places. The reason I said 7th, because I'm looking at another number. Ross Gillette is up to 9th. He's up 9 places in this one. That was Nick Clibbins wide out of the final turn. William Guthrie has found himself having issues in the fight for points. And that's how he finds himself going around there as Ben Oucher gets to the inside of Nick Clibbins and makes his move for 4th place. It's side by side though as Clibbins is going to keep it to the inside of turn number 2, and he closes that door just in time for turn 3 to prevent Oucher from getting through, but it's wide on the exit of turn number 3, and through goes Ben Oucher up into 4th position past Nick Clibbins. We are coming up to the final lap of the race here, up to the timing line. As Isaac Doble, he started on pole, but he's had to work for this win. It's not his yet. Jack Pittas is doing his hardest to push in and fight for what will be a race win. if he can get the speed on this final lap of asking, the gap down to 0.3 of a second, 0.2 of a second. It is all the way to the fight for the lead now as we jump on board the rear wing of Isaac Doble. He opens the door just a little bit. Pittas looked to try and get to the inside there. Couldn't quite make the move. Slams on the brakes here. Turn number 5 and 6. And now into, 4 and 5, up towards 6 now. Pittas is going to be trying to get the exit, but I just think as Doble can keep it on the circuit here, he should be able to take it. Pittas closes all the way to the rear ring here. Doble's going to try and break the slipstream. Pittas is going to try and follow him through. It won't be enough though, and Isaac Doble will beat Pittas to the line in their fight. Klibbins just missing out on Oucher, as Joshua Downing a little bit of a way off of Michael Wade as well, and Matt Getter is going to be the man to get the final points of the day. He'll come up towards the timing line. Jonathan Perry cheering on his 14th position there, but we will then have Adrian Ruiz Hernandez, our last driver, who will cross the timing line in the first of 3 races today. That's right, we've still got 2 more races coming your way. We are going to have a look at our race results, a quick update on our top 10 in the championship, and then we will talk to a few of our drivers as well as Hernandez crosses the line in P18. Let's have a look then at our full race results. At the end of the first race of the day, Isaac Doble took that pole position and converted it to a race victory. He did have to work his way back into the race leader course. Jack Pittas came home in second ahead of Adam Wilson-Weir to round out the podium. The three of those less than a second between them across the line. Ben Oucher is cross line in 4th position ahead of Nick Klibbins. Benjamin Gregory in 6th place ahead of Nigel Stock. Mark Kent in 8th ahead of Ross Gillette and Jamie Dory rounding out your top 10. Phil McDougall finished that one in 11th ahead of Michael Wade. Joshua Downing in 13th ahead of Jonathan Perry. Matt Getter taking the final point of the day. He'll also start race number 2 from pole position. Dan Beckett coming home in 16th position ahead of William Guthrie. Adrian Hernandez in 18th place, and Carl Thompson coming across the line in 19th coming across the line. Didn't come across the line. 4 laps down. Alan McCain out of the race. 5 laps down, and then it was out from Mark Sykes as well, and we saw that accident out of turn number 1. With that, at the final turn, sorry. As we have a little bit of a look then at our championship standings out of the opening races. Again, I don't quite know why we're missing P number 4. It was displaying earlier. I believe that is Lee Horn that is supposed to be displaying there. But Jack Pittas has 123 points to his name and moves into the lead of the championship out of the first race. Just a single point between them. 5 points further back is then Adam Wilson-Weir. And then it is a jump back to William Guthrie. Like I said, I think it's Lee Horn in 4th position there. But now I am unsure, and we will have a little bit of a... I'll have a little bit of a dig into it when we go into the pause in a moment. With that being said then, let's have a quick word with one of our drivers out of race number 1. And the driver that we are going to see if we can talk to from this one is going to be one of those that were out at the front fight. It is going to be Adam Wilson-Weir in this one. And Adam, you managed to come home in P number 3. It was a race-long fight for a podium position, though. You found yourself up the order, down the order, in the order, but it was a podium at the end.
Yeah, it was a mixed bag sort of one. There was a couple of elbows getting pushed out and stuff, so it was good fun racing. I think Ben actually let me through again after the contact, but I mean, I don't know if he had a slowdown or if he did, but if he did, then thanks for that, you know.
Yeah, it certainly looked like he let you through from watching the replays of that instance. It was a a good fight between yourselves. A number of your teammates are out there. Of course, you had Jack Pittas with you, but a few others falling down the order. You're going to be starting in P12 in the next race, if I'm working out. P13, if I actually work out correctly. How do you feel about moving your way through the grid here? Do you think there's going to be some help that is needed, or do you think you're just going to be able to take any toe that you find?
I don't know. I think I'm quite good in the corners, so I'll probably make up most of my time in the technical sections of the track. It's just going to be because obviously the guys who are at the back may be a bit slower, so I might take a bit more patience to try and work my way through. But I think if I keep a cool head and just be smart is what I'm trying to say, is we should be okay.
With that being said, you say you're faster through the technical sections, through the corners, of course. Is that going to be a difficult place, though, to try and make the move? Of course, we were seeing in those races most of the overtakes happening along the straight or turn number 1. There were obviously the fights going into 2 and 3, but most of the time it was at the front. Is it going to be easy or challenging to move through in those technical sections?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be more of a challenge. I think it's mainly if the guys are aware that there's a car alongside, sort of thing. I think it's just like trying to balance between the entries and exits. Try and like study what the guys are doing ahead, where they're losing time, and where I can gain. So I think if I knuckle down on that, figure it out, and we'll probably see a couple of moves being made in the corners.
Right then, it's going to be interesting to see how race number 2 plays out. Hopefully as clean as we saw that one. Of course, a few bits of contact, but mostly it was drivers sending themselves around. Good luck in the next race, Adam.
Yep, Robin's Racing, thank you.
Adam Wilson, we're there, coming home in 3rd position in the race. In race number 1, we've got 2 more races coming your way, though, and we are going to take a quick momentary pause here in the broadcast while we get ourselves squared away and over into that session. So if you are having a watch and you've not already hit the subscribe or the follow button, make sure you've done that. And whilst we are taking the break, don't switch off your channels, don't switch off your TVs or whatever it is that you're watching. Make sure you are getting yourself some popcorn ready for the next one. A top 15 invert is always a fun one. We'll see you then in about 5 minutes' time. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back here to the Next Gen Racing's Toyota GR86 Cup. We do apologise for the slightly longer delay between the two sessions that we normally have. We were just trying to sort out a few extra things in the background because we are trialling for the first time this evening a bit of live timing. So if you want to keep up to date with all of the timings through the sessions and you want to see where your favourite drivers are, what sort of lap times they are putting in, as well as where how many positions they've gained or lost throughout an evening as well, you head down across to the live timing page. It is linked in all of the chats, no matter where you are watching, and you can keep up to date with that one as well as drivers come to the end of the warm-up session here. We promise there is not one driver going that quickly across the timing, but you can check out it all out there by heading in over to the link and let us know your thoughts about it as well, and how if you find it useful or something that you'd like to see more of. Right then, we prepare to go down racing, and with that being said, I have fixed the standings issues that we were having as well, and we can now see who the missing driver was, and as I suspected, it was Lee Horn who was our missing driver in P number 4, the number 80 machine. It'll be interesting to see whether or not he will remain inside the top 10 at the end of this evening. Of course, only one race so far completed this evening out of the 3 that are going to be run, and race number 2 is about to begin in just about 1 minute's time. We are going to start gridding up for the second race of the day, and we will then talk you through your grid order around the Mugello circuit for this one. Of course, it will be your results of race number 1 inverted from the top 15, which means Matt Gatta is going to start this one on pole position ahead of Jonathan Berry, who managed to get himself just back into the points, and crucially the invert towards the end of the last race. And some decent results for a few new drivers out there as well. Michael Wade getting in 12th position, points on the board, but unfortunately for Dan Beckett, he was just 1 position away from getting his first points on the board in his first race. Right then, warm-up is at a close, and and the race number 2 will be here in just 1 moment's time. So, as drivers will get themselves gridded up and ready for another 15 minutes, 15 lap amount of racing action, we will talk you through your starting grid here for the second race of the day. And it is going to be Matt Gatta, as I said, who starts this one on pole position, clear of Jonathan Berry. Joshua Downing will find himself in 3rd place right now, just behind his teammate of Berry. And they're ahead of Michael Wade, who has a good chance in his first weekend of the season to get a podium here. Phil McDougall will start in 5th ahead of Jamie Dorey. Ross Gillette will start in 7th ahead of Mark Kent. Nigel Stock in 9th and Benjamin Gregory in 10th. Nick Clibbins will start from 11th ahead of Ben Oucher. Adam Wilson-Weir from 13th. Pittas from 14th position. Isaac Doble from 15th position. Dan Beckett will start this one in 16th position, and as they were through the rest of your field as well, with William Guthrie in 17th ahead of Hernandez, Carl Thompson in 19th, Alan McCain at the back of the field. We do not see Mark Sykes go back out for race number 2, nor will we see Mark Sykes in the final race of the day, which is a real shame, of course. Right then, we prepare for racing action here. Race number 2 of the day. Your full invert will be coming up for race number 3, which means if you're finishing 20th, you will be starting race number 3 on pole position as long as you are no more than 1 lap down. We had a number of retirees in race number 1. That can't happen here in race number 2. 15 laps on the board. And we are green for race number 2 here at Mugello. As we get off the line, it is side-by-side racing action between Berry and Michael Wade. Wade has had a fantastic launch there, up into second position straight away here as we come up towards turn number 1. Is it going to go 4 wide? It's 3 wide. It stays 3 wide, but with different drivers through that 3 wide as they come through the corner. Are we going to stay all facing the right way this time? We certainly are. We spoke to Adam Wilson-Weir before the start of this one. He said about taking it easy and making sure that he was patient. Is he being patient right now? Well, he's in the middle of a 3 wide that included Pittas and for Wilson-Weir. The commentator's curse of getting in to a commentary booth after the first race continues, and he finds himself into the wall. Jamie Dory losing out to Nick Clibbins here as Ben Oucher and Mark Kent swapping positions there in 9th and 10th position. As now Nigel Stock is trying to go side by side with Gregory as well. Up at the front though, it is 3 wide for second position. Wade on the outside, Berry in the middle, and Downing to the inside is contact between the teammates. Somehow, everyone with a little bit of bumping and banging faces the right direction. Berry's up. Wade takes the inside line, and that's a slide from behind. Phil McDougall, and he finds himself onto the gravel. And down the order, there he is, he's rejoined. Back up to Michael Wade though, he's still to the inside of the Type 2 guys. It's to the inside of Downing right now. And he's managed to do that. Nick Clibbins pushes around the outside, trying to get past, that was Ben Oucher. No, sorry, that was Joshua Downing, can't quite do it. Ben Oucher gets past Ross Gillette. Out of turn number 5 and up towards turn number 6. We come across the timing line, and it is once again side by side for fighting, and it's your race 1 winner, Isaac Doble, who is chasing in behind right now, gets past Phil McDougall, but is he going to be under attack from behind there? Benjamin Gregory to the inside of McDougall. McDougall was off at turn number 2 last lap. Is it going to be 3 wide up towards turn number 2 this time? They settle themselves into single file, and it is going to be Gregory. He stays just ahead of McDougall, but McDougall keeps his nose in. He is not backing out of this fight, and he goes for it up the inside, really late on the brakes there. But Gregory has enough room to keep it ahead, and through goes William Guthrie, and now Nigel Stock trying to get involved in this one to the inside as well. Stock has to back out of it. Guthrie pushes hard and wide there. Jack Pittas looks for a moment up the inside of Mark Kent, struggling to move up the order here. Driver who's not struggling to move up the order is Isaac Doble. He is up to 8th position in this race right now. Jamie Dory side by side with Ross Gillette to the outside, is side by side up at the front of the order as well as it is at the back of the order. It's so much fighting going on. It is hard to pay attention to all of it and try to get it all for your screens. But Ben Oucher falls behind Michael Wade in their fight for 4th position. They momentarily swapped. They swapped back. Jamie Dory looking to try and get past Ross Gillette once more as cars going onto the gravel in the background there. Was Pittas and McCain both fall behind Thompson. And now they're having a bit of a ding-dong fight as well. Benjamin Gregory gets past Joshua Downing, and that's Phil McDougall looking for a moment to go towards the inside. But there was no doing there as William Guthrie again finds himself incredibly wide through the exit of 6. Surely, at some point, he will be extending it just a little bit too much, getting a potential slowdown in that fight up towards turn number 1, and it is side by side between Clibbins and Gatter. Clibbins has made his way through for second position as it's 3 wide behind. Dory backs out of it, allows Doble up the inside, and Ross Gillette still ahead for the time being. Oucher to the inside of Wade, just up ahead as well as Doble swaps across, gets the inside of Gillette. Can Jamie Dory take advantage of that and get through as well? No, he can't. Oucher has got past Wade and confirms that position. Wade then goes defensive through the next turn as well, because Wade was looking like he wanted to make the move immediately back through. This happened behind for Mark Kent. It was contact with William Guthrie. It was then a collection there for Carl Thompson. Ben Oucher now, after dispatching Michael Wade, is looking to try and get up towards the front fight. He's into third as Nick Clibbins moves to the right-hand side of the circuit. He started this one in 11th. He wants to take the lead, and he goes to the inside of Jonathan Berry for the lead here at Mugello. Nick Clibbins gets the inside line. He moves through for the lead, but has to hold it through turn 2. And Berry is not going to back out of it too early there. And he's going to be putting all the pressure on the front end here as we come up towards turn number 4. Jonathan Berry all over the rear end as we come through 4 and 5 there, up towards 6 now. This is the rearview mirror for Nick Clibbins as we come through the final corner up towards the timing line for him. Right, Isaac Doble is looking to move further up the order as well. He's up to 5th right now, but looking to get past Michael Wade and into 4th position. He's to the right-hand side, and he does make the overtake through for 4th position. Barry keeps Oucher at bay. Isaac Doble, though, is going to be hoping these drivers ahead can keep on fighting, because he could be on the hunt for the first back-to-back victories of the season. Nobody has won race 1 and race 2 yet this season. Ben Oucher is the only double winner of the season. He won race 1 and 3 2 weeks ago in Portland. Whilst Gillette and Matt Gatter are fighting out here as Gillette was dispatched by Jamie Dory. He's just fallen back a little bit here, but that is going to be Phil McDougall looking to the inside of Matt Gatter. Gatter keeps that door wide open, doesn't want the contact here as McDougall sticks it to the inside. They're still side by side. We jump back towards the front though, because Ben Oucher is looking to try and get past Jonathan Berry up into 2nd position here. Oucher finished race number 1 in 4th place, remember. He does get through. Ben Oucher will get into 2nd place here at Mugello. It's side by side by side in towards turn number 1 behind as we come through turns number 2 and 3. Nigel Stock sticking to the inside of Phil McDougall there, as it is also Pittas and Gatter side by side behind. Remember, Pittas finished race number 1 in 2nd place. He has not been able to move through this field anywhere near as much as our other drivers. Phil McDougall, though, does get his way past. As the opening gap, the lead gaps, I should say, have opened up to about half a second, but Isaac Doble is only a couple of tenths of a second off of Jonathan Berry here. Not only is he getting another strong result, he'll take the bonus points for fastest lap as well. It is going to have a significant impact on the championship. Berry to the outside as Isaac Doble looks to the inside of turn number 1. That was Jamie Dory getting past Michael Wade behind. Doble now trying to keep it on the outside of turn number 2. Is going to keep his nose in though, and he will run side by side with Jamie Dory out of turn number 3. And that is Isaac Doble onto the podium. Jonathan Berry in 4th position behind now, as we come to end what will be the 9th lap of asking. We'll get 6 more to go. And for Isaac Doble, at 6 more opportunities to close up and move back into the lead here and take back-to-back race victories. Ross Gillette here ahead of Jack Pittas and running around in 9th position. He is in the middle of a train of drivers himself, but Matt Gatter is being under attack here from Joshua Downing. Gatta finishing race number 1 in 15th position. As he stuck to the outside, he'll fall down to 13th. Of course, he started this one from pole, but that was Joshua Downing who started this one from 3rd position, making his way into 12th, but it is still side by side between the two. But in the end, it is Downing who gets his way past, and Adam Wilson-Weir, who is trying to recover from that first lap smash, is looking to get past Matt Gatta and does, and up to 13th position here for Adam Wilson-Weir. William Guthrie finds his way through as well. Isaac Doble now looking for 3rd position and gets a really great exit as Berry finds his way onto the grass. Jamie Dory is going to move up the order as well. Dory, of course, spun in race number 1, finished that one in 10th place. He started this one in 6th. He hasn't gained too many places, but he is up to 4th place right now, much stronger than his race 1 results. Barry holds on to Wade just about behind. Nigel Stock to the inside of Benjamin Gregory here through turn number 1 as Stock and Gregory run side by side up in towards turn number 2. It is still side by side between the two of them until they settle it down through 3. And Joshua Downing all over the rear of William Guthrie as Guthrie makes his way past the Type 2 racing machine. We now have a jump back towards the front here because Ben Oucher managed to get 4th. Nick Clibbins finished race 1 in 5th. And you know that Oucher is going to want to try and take the win here. Of course, Oucher won 2 times last week. He was leading the championship heading into this one. He's not leading it heading into the 2nd race. Can he be leading it heading into the final race? Ben Oucher moves to the inside to take the lead here at Mugello. And that was no defence at all from Nick Clibbins. Is he just going to be hoping to get the toe up towards the end of this race and try to make the move on the final lap of asking potentially? As Ross Gillette is trying to hold on in this fight as well. Stock's got through, and now he has got Jack Pittas all over his rear, but Gillette pushes on to... Oh, who was that off? Almost around straight into it. It's Jonathan Berry. Almost straight into this fight here when he tried to get himself sorted as well. Let's have a look at that one. It's a loss of the rear end. Finds himself spinning, turns himself around and almost into that fight. That would have been a heart-in-the-mouth moment, and that certainly was, as multiple cars had to dive off the circuit there to avoid Jonathan Berry as he made his return back onto the track. And just see the scattering of cars there as Berry is down and out of this race, and if he doesn't return to the track, he is not going to get the inverted pole position. Pittas moves into 8th position now, ahead of Ross Gillette. As Phil McDougall finds his way onto the grass, flashing his headlights. He wants to get past the 213 machine as well, but just isn't going to be able to do anything as it stands. Nick Clibbins has got back past Ben Oucher in all of that mess whilst we were watching what was going on, and this is how that occurred. And it was with the toe for Nick Clibbins. He was able to make that move through as he was running up towards turn number 1. Clibbins stays on the right-hand side, and it looked like how Oucher just got the position quite easily on Clibbins. Clibbins will do the same on Oucher. We'll go back live here as we've got 2 laps to go in this race of 15 laps. 4/10 of a second behind Oucher is Nick Clibbins. Isaac Doble and Jamie Dory are not out of the question here. They could certainly do something. They are a distant potential race winner here, but there is still the opportunity for them. There is still the potential. Benjamin Gregory keeping Nigel Stock at bay. We're seeing a lot of familiar names sticking with each other throughout this evening. As we swap around, Ben Oucher's got past Nick Clibbins because Nick Clibbins is seriously down the order. What has happened here to Nick Clibbins? It's a slowdown for Nick Clibbins. And he gives up the podium positions. Isaac Doble now into second position. White flag lap. Surely 1.1 seconds is not going to be able to be closed. And Ben Oucher could be on the hunt for his third win of the season. Pittas and Gregory side by side. Benjamin Gregory gets to the inside as William Guthrie has had an issue towards the end of this one. It's still side by side with Gregory stuck on the outside of Pittas. Pittas will hold it as Nigel Stock trying to get back past Adam Wilson-Weir. Can't do it. Wilson-Weir now going to try and get past Phil McDougall. Swings to the right, swings to the left, swings to the right. Will have to stay behind for the time being, but he might have an opportunity up towards turn number 6. Ben Oucher, though, will come around the final corner. And Ben Oucher will win for the third time this season. Adam Wilson-Weir gets it to the inside of Phil McDougall. Nigel Stock is going to have some good pace here. Up towards the line. And Stock will take McDougall as well across the timing line. And we will have to have a look at what happened to William Guthrie here. It was a bit of contact on the front end. A big hit with the wall, and 2 laps down means that I believe Dan Beckett is going. My timing says 2 laps off of the leader, which is the crucial thing. No, Dan Beckett takes past Hernandez. Hernandez backs out. Hernandez backs out so he can take pole. He gets no points for 17th. He backs out for pole, and I think that is the first time we have ever seen a driver intentionally go slow to get the benefits in the results for the following race. We've not seen that this season. We've not seen that in any of the support seasons since I've stepped into the booth, actually. And it's not something I like to see, but it is something that can and does happen. Right then, with that being said, let's have a look at our results from race number 2 of 3. Ben Oucher takes victory, a second clear of Isaac Doble. Jamie Dorey takes home the final podium position. Nick Clibbins, who was fighting out for the win all race long there, backed out with about a lap and a half to go with a slow down penalty, and it gave Oucher the easy win. Then it was Michael Wade who comes home in P number 4 in the end. Excellent job for him. Sorry, P number 5 in the end. Excellent job for him. And Jack Pittas in P6. It was Ross Gillette who came across the line in 7th, ahead of Benjamin Gregory, Adam Wilson-Weir, and it was Nigel Stock rounding out your top 10. Phil McDougall took home 11th, ahead of Joshua Downing, Mark Kent in 13th, and Alan McCain in 14th, just ahead of Carl Thompson. Matt Gatter in 16th position. Dan Beckett took home 17th in the end, ahead of Adrian Hernandez, and with the top invert being everyone on the lead lap, what am I trying to say? Yes, with everyone on the lead lap, apart from the bottom 2, who are more than a lap down, Hernandez will be starting the final race from pole position. Let's have a little look at how our championship standings are then, as Ben Oucher is 147 points in the championship now, clear of 133, the way of Jack Pittas. Adam Wilson-Weir with 124. Isaac Doble moves himself into 4th past Lee Horn. And then it is McDougall, Guthrie, Dorey, McCain, and Gillette rounding out your top 10 with that one. And it is excellent. Thank you for the update on the live timing. For the third and final race, we will be moving that 15 seconds behind what we'll do, and we'll put a delay on the live timing for you guys. And if it is 15 seconds, we'll put that 15-second delay on, and hopefully that will sort it out for the third and final race of the day. Before we take our quick break here, though, we are going to pull in Ben Oucher after he came home in race number 1 in 4th position. Ben Oucher managed to cross the line that one in race victory. It looked like it might have been a fight with Nick Clibbins, but in the end, it was a smooth sailing victory by a second. How did that one go for you, Ben?
Yeah, that worked out quite nicely for me. I got a decent launch off the start compared to quite a few people ahead, and then I just sort of worked with Nick to try and push through the first few corners, and we made a couple of places up together. And then from there is just picking off people as and where I could to try and work my way forward. Got to the front with Nick and John, I think it was. And then we just had a bit of fun.
Yeah, it was a great little fight that you were having out there. It does mean, though, that the final race of the day, you'll be starting at the rear of the field. We've seen that you can make your way through the field, of course. You were up 11 positions. I mean, Isaac behind you was up 13. So you have the opportunity to pull it back towards the front here. You are the only driver so far this season to have multiple victories. What is your goal out of the third and final race?
Well, as far forward as I can go, I think. I just enjoy the racing. I didn't even realize I'd been doing that well. Do we have a points table? I've not seen it.
The points table, we've got one on the broadcast now. You are leading the championship in there. You have got 147 points to your name. Jack Pittas is the closest. He's got 133.
Nice. Oh, I can't complain. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm just enjoying it and having some fun. So seems to be working.
Right, good luck for the third and final race of the day, Ben, and let's see what you can do.
Thank you very much.
Ben Oucher there coming home fourth in race one, first in the second race of the day, and hopefully it won't go the same way as it did after we talked to Adam Wilson-Weir. Of course, Wilson-Weir caught up in an accident early on. We're going to cross our fingers and say commentator's curse is not a thing. We will be back, though, for race number 3 in approximately 5 minutes' time, but it might be a little bit longer again as we have got that stuff in the background to sort out. But don't go anywhere here on Next Gen Racing or Joseph Wright Broadcasting as we prepare for the third and final race of the day. We'll be back momentarily. And welcome back here to Mugello for the third and final race of the day. We prepare to go green flag racing, this time for 23 laps of racing action around the absolutely wonderful Mugello circuit. And we do have an update on our live timing. We have put that as a bit of a delay, but if you want to check it out, hit the link in any of the streams. There are YouTube comments, YouTube chat comments, over on the Facebook, over on the Twitch. Make sure that you check it out. You let us know. We put a bit of a delay onto that one, so hopefully it won't give you any spoilers now, but you can also keep up to date with the gaps, the intervals, and how your drivers are doing in each of the race sessions. Do let us know who you are supporting in the final one of asking here, as we've got the third and final race about to begin around the Mugello circuit. And we have got a fully inverted grid to prepare ourselves for this one. Of course, what that does mean is we are going to see Ben Oucher starting from the very back of the field. And we should be seeing Adrian Ruiz Hernandez starting from the front. But that being said, I'm seeing a lot less drivers in this session, as I think a few are just waiting to get in. It was a slightly later setup of the session for this one, but hopefully we'll get all of our drivers back down. Of course, we had 21 start race number 1. We saw Mark Sykes crash in race number 1. He is unable to start the race number 2 or race number 3 here. Hopefully we'll be seeing our other drivers get down. And as we wait for the end of this warm-up session here, as drivers get into it, I'll welcome you into the commentary booth again here at Joseph Wright Broadcasting, as we prepare for the third and final race of the day, as we're here over on NXTGEN Racing for their fantastic Toyota series. I'm looking forward to how the rest of this season plays out. It's been a strong start. Of course, 3 rounds will be completed at the end of today. 4 more rounds left to go over the next couple of months. Of course, running every other Tuesday. And if you want to see more of the racing action from me here at Joseph Wright Broadcasting, head across to our Twitch page, Joseph Wright TV, or to our YouTube, youtube.com/@JosephWrightTV, and you can catch up on all of the racing action that we do on our YouTube as well. There will be highlight videos that are slowly making their way out onto the YouTube as well. You can catch up with all of the best bits of your favourite races. If you want to be able to support me a little bit more as well, though, head across to all of my socials. You'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of that stuff. You'll find me at Joseph Wright TV. On TikTok, however, you'll find me at Beehive Bill. Make sure you're checking me out, following me over there as well. And if you want to support me even further, I want to do this full time. It is my dream job, is to do commentary for a living. And if you want to help support me do that, then head across to my Buy Me a Coffee by going to buymeacoffee.com/Joseph Wright TV. And you can support me either a one-off donation or monthly, and you can get the benefits out of that one as well. Enough about me, though, and promoting myself. Let's get down onto the track, because we are about to begin in this third and final race of the day, where we are going to see a fully inverted grid. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with how well behaved our drivers are out there. The biggest moment we've seen really all evening long has been Jonathan Berry's self-spin and then his return onto the racing track that caused a scattering of cars. Of course, we have seen crashes. We've seen race one crash that sent cars around, but that included other drivers. Of course, we saw individual crashes and mistakes throughout the race. Race number 2, we saw one crash that sent, a singular car. Adam Wilson, we're around. Commentators curse out of race number 1 in that one. Hopefully, Ben Oucher is not going to deal with any commentators' curses out of race number 2, as we pulled him into the booth after the second race of the day. we're about to prepare ourselves for the third and final race of Asking here at in the Toyotas, though. And if you want any more racing action at the Next Gen Racing series, then make sure you're following the Next Gen pages, because on Thursday, the GT3 Championship will be back out on tracks at Road America, and for the first time this season, it'll be our endurance round. Make sure you are joining us for that one, so that you can catch up on all of the wonderful racing that goes on here at Next Gen. Right then, let's have a grid order for the third and final race of the day, and it is going to be... Huh? Don't ask me, this looks randomised. Isaac Doble will start on first, ahead of William Guthrie. Nick Clemens in third. Jack Pittas in fourth position. Fifth position for Adam Wilson-Weir. Benjamin Gregory in sixth. Seventh for Jamie Dory. Michael Wade in eighth. Ben Oucher in ninth. Alan McCain 10th, ahead of Phil McDougall. And Mark Kent in 12th position. 13th for Carl Thompson, ahead of Nigel Stock. Dan Beckett, Matt Gatter, and Joshua Downing. What is this grid order is the question here, as we are just well, if you can see, this grid is wrong. Isaac Doble on pole position, William Guthrie in second. This is an interesting one. Oh, not what I meant to say. I think we may get a, if anything is to go by, we've had these before, occasionally we get grids reset. Jamie Dory looks like he's off the grid right now, and he's one of the ones that would be sorting out issues like this. Are we going to get the grid, or are we going to see cars exit the grid? We are just waiting to find out here whether we will be going green in this order. I just had that moment there where when I started, Isaac Doble on pole sounded very, very wrong. There is no Hernandez out there, so he wouldn't have got pole position. But that means Dan Beckett should be on pole position. He's 15th. But it looks like we are getting drivers. Drivers are being DQ'd from this race, it looks like. So I think that we are going to get a new grid order, potentially a new session in this one, as we'll try and figure out what is going on here as we await any confirmation from our race directors. As I'll have a look over in the chat there. Adam Wilson-Weir says, "Told you I'll get overtaking done in the corners." And he certainly was right. Of course, he did go around early doors in race number 2 with the contact, but he did find himself out there on the circuit. There was no doubt about that, overtaking through the complex sections of the track, which required the turning. Of course, there was some good fighting in race number 2, as we saw in race number 1 as well. We are just anticipating what is going to happen here as I await. It looks like we're going to get some confirmation from the race directors. We are going to be heading into a new lobby. Therefore, we will be back in about 5 minutes time, guys, for a new session. Our third and final race of the day is coming your way, but we are going to be doing it in a new session. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 5 minutes time. Hello and welcome back as we prepare to go racing for the third and final time here at the Next Gen Racing's Toyota GR86 Cup. As I think I figured out the reason the grid was delayed wrong. It was because we were going to have a broadcast length of about 2.5 hours, and that is not what I'm getting paid for. They've decided to maximize my time, and they're going to extend the broadcast to its usual about 2 hours and 45 minutes. Of course, I am joking. That is not the real reason. Sometimes we do have those issues in the background that do occur, and it's all been rectified now, so we do prepare to go racing for the third and final time. And as we took a little bit of an extended break, it's gonna say over there, Wade is over in the YouTube chat at the moment. That's Michael Wade racing in the 169 machine, saying that at times like this, he wishes he didn't have VR, having to jump off and on again throughout all of the sessions. Of course, many different options go down racing. A lot of drivers going on the single screen setups, others doing triple monitors, such as myself. But I also do have an Oculus, and I do like racing in Oculus, and I've done a fair few next-gen races in a VR headset, and it is a lot of fun. And I know that some people prefer to do that than the monitors. Everyone's got their preferences, and it is nice to see a mix of hardware going out there each and every time we go racing. And of course, you can have a high-end setup. You can be on a controller. And either way, if you love motorsport, we'd love to have you in here. And if you do want to get involved with these Toyota races, head across to Next Gen Racing and check out the Discord, and you can get involved in the remainder of this series. Of course, we have still got 4 more rounds to go in the championship. We head off in 2 weeks' time to Germany, and it is the Hockenheim Ring on April 14th. We finish off all the way in Interlagos for the 7th and final round of competition. It's going to be a lovely season of racing. There is no doubt about that. I do apologise, we lost the microphone for a moment there as the opening rounds of anything to go by. The racing has been absolutely fantastic. I expect no different here. As warm-up comes to a close, we are going to give Grid Take 2 a chance here for the third race of the day. And of course, if you haven't already done so, head across to the live timing page that is linked in all of the chats, and you can keep up to date with the session as it stands. I do believe we've got a delay, but I am going to have to double check that one because I think we've now lost the delay. No, we still do have the delay. Perfect. Excellent. Right then, let's have a look at the grid for the final race of the day. Dan Beckett will start this one on pole position ahead of Matt Gatter. Alan McCain will start in 3rd place ahead of Mark Kent. 4th place, it will be 5th place for Joshua Downing, and Phil McDougall will be on the back of the 3rd row. Nigel Stock will start in 7th ahead of Adam Wilson-Weir. Benjamin Gregory will start in P number 9. Jack Pittas in 10th place. Michael Wade will start in 11th. Nick Clibbins from 12th place. Jamie Dory in 13th, and Isaac Doble from 14th position. Ben Oucher will be starting from 15th position, and the only man not included in the invert will be William Guthrie, because he retired with 2 laps to go. If he retired just a lap later, he would be on pole position, but that goes the way of newcomer Dan Beckett. We prepare to go racing as we look up towards the start of the course. It is going to be 23 laps on the board for the 3rd and final race of the day. Dan Beckett from pole position, Matt Gatter alongside him, Ben Oucher, the only driver to have won more than once this season. He's done it 3 times. Will be starting from 15th on the grid and has some work to do. We prepare to go green flag racing. We are away here for the 3rd and final race of the day, and Alan McCain has had an absolutely stellar launch there from 3rd position on the grid He makes his way up towards the lead. Dan Beckett falls down to 3rd position. McCain to the inside of Matt Gatter. It is going to be 3 wide once again into turn number 1. A bit of bumping and banging there. Can they all make it out of turn 2 is going to be the question. As it is still 3 wide, somehow it settles it down without anyone facing the wrong way around. And we come out of turn number 3 there. But at the back, this is Ben Oucher looking to the inside of Clibbins. He's going to have to stay at the back and not make any move just yet. Isaac Doble already up 5 positions on this race. If he can get it past Adam Wilson-Weir on the inside here. Wilson-Weir holding that outside line to Doble on the inside line. We come through the final turn and there's contact ahead and a big hit. 2 cars into the wall there. Jack Pittas and Nigel Stock are going to be down on the opening lap of Asking. We head up towards turn number 1 and straight away we've got side-by-side racing action once again here, as that is multiple changes for positions. It's 3 wide behind here as we try to figure out who on earth is who in this big gaggle of cars as they come through. Clibbin stuck on the outside of Ben Oucher there. Oucher to the inside, and the safety car will come out here as we get another car down and around. Joshua Downing goes around turn number 2, but we are going to get a safety car here on the 2nd lap of Asking. We've had some really clean racing so far this evening, but not in this one. Unfortunately, 3rd and final race of the day will find themselves behind the safety car after just 2 laps of racing action. Alan McCain has found his way onto that pole position spot here and looking to see if he can find his way through and up towards the win in this one. But with that being said, let's have a look at the opening lap of Asking here. Oh, that was just a slow launch for Dan Beckett. A really slow launch off the line for Beckett. We've got a Jamie Dory may have crashed, but I don't even think he came out onto the track. He certainly didn't. This is what happened at the final corner. Jack Pittas. Oh, it was a spin there from Nigel Stock ahead that then led to it. Let's ride on board here with Pittas. He looks to the inside of Stock. He goes to the inside of Stock. Stock's out wide. Stock has... No, there's contact. Pittas has the wobble. Goes into Stock, and the 2 of them head hard into the wall. William Guthrie has his own issues then as he goes into the wall on the outside, and he broke his front left suspension doing that as well, and with it he had to do a whole additional lap. As we return to our live pictures, and that is very much Alan McCain driving as the safety car there. The Porsche leading the field around the course. In this safety car, we'll get at least 1 more lap, and I believe only 1 more lap under safety car conditions before we go back racing again. And Jamie Dory, who was having issues earlier on, has made his way out onto the track now, but it looks like he's having some connection issues for Dory. He does have a meatball flag to deal with as well. Trying to figure this out here, but it looks like he had some connection issues. He received a meatball flag actually just there. That's a strange place to receive a meatball flag, but Dory is having connection issues there. William Guthrie is now down pit lane. He's just served his meatball, which means that he has fixed his car. He'll be back out there, ready to go racing again as the rest of the field come through. That's damage on the front end of Jack Pittas. I'm surprised, even behind the safety car, because if Pittas pitted to repair his car, he would still be in this fight. He wouldn't have dropped off the back of it. So it's interesting that Pittas has decided not to get involved here. Right then, championship. As it stands, Ben Oucher would still hold on to the championship here. Pittas is getting the bonus points from fastest lap, which is what's giving him the 8th there. Adam Wilson-Weir holding on to 3rd, but Alan McCain would find his way up to 4th right now if he was able to take this victory in this race, which would be his first win of the season. Isaac Doble, though, will be looking to try and make his way up to the front once again. He's had some strong results in the first 2 races, winning race 1, second in race 2. Can he get himself back to the top of the order by the end of the 3rd and final race of the day? Right then, we are preparing to go green flag racing once more as the safety car will pull off at the end of this lap. Alan McCain out at the front. It is Mark Kent who is running around just behind him here in 2nd, and Matt Gatter in 3rd position. And we are going to wait until McCain puts his foot to the floor. He waits as late as possible. The green flag is out and away we go up towards turn number 1. Gatter has had a great launch there. Ben Oucher has not. He finds himself with a penalty on the restart here as we go up towards turn number 1 in this huge grouping of cars for a 2nd time this race. It is once again 3 wide through turn number 1. Ben Oucher in the middle of all of that one. Adam Wilson-Weir managed to get to the inside, and Wilson-Weir right now looking to try and find his way up the order after having an issue in the start race number 2, finding himself into the wall following contact. This is Matt Gatter. He is getting overtaken by Isaac Doble, who finds his way around the outside. He leaves the door open here for Ben Oucher. Oucher gets that inside line, and Adam Wilson-Weir is going to try and follow through on that inside as well, and there's contact! Wilson-Weir, and that is another one of the oh my word, this is a huge wreck at the back. That's Joshua Downing into the wall. Dan Beckett was the car that was off early on as well. Joshua Downing's going to really have to get that car down pit lane. Huge wreck on the restart there. Are we going to see another safety car? It doesn't look like we are. Mark Kate gets to the inside. Benjamin Gregory gets to the inside of Mark Kent, I should say. And they swap over for turn 2, but that is going to be positioned the way of Benjamin Gregory here, as that's more issues. Phil McDougall and Matt Gatter now going slowly here, as Mark Kent getting overtaken by Isaac Doble around the outside of 5. They run side by side here up towards turn number 6. And now Kent has Ben Oucher behind. How hard is he going to fight his teammate here? Of course, there's no team battles in this one, but Doble's off onto the grass. That was Gregory ahead onto the grass as well, but we're going to have a look at this one. Joshua Downing tried to avoid, and then there was contact there with Dan Beckett, and a big hit into the wall for Joshua Downing. Up towards the front, though, because it is now Benjamin Gregory looking to try and fight here with Alan McCain. Now I'm confused. Who's that? We're on a replay. That's why. Never mind me. We're on a replay. Benjamin Gregory has got past Alan McCain, I should say. I got really confused for a moment there looking at that one. We were still on the replay in all of that once we jumped back and had a look at what was going on. And this is how the move was made. For Benjamin Gregory. He was all over the rear end of Alan McCain, looked to the inside there, and a nice easy move for Gregory for the lead in this one. Back then to live pictures as we head up towards the 8th lap of asking in these 23 laps that we have in race number 2, and Adam Wilson-Weir is looking to try and find his way to the front. He won the first race of the season back at Okayama. Can he find his... As we go once again, apologies, issues with our microphone there. I was just going to say, can he find his way back towards front here? Isaac Doble is looking to try and take 2nd position past Alan McCain. They run side by side, and they have made their way through in that one, and they've swapped over their positions as we come up towards turn number 4 now. Benjamin Gregory leading the way, but Isaac Doble wants to find his way back to the front of this one. Remember, he won race 1, he came second in race 2. Can he win race number 3 and become only the second driver to win more than one race this season? Ben Oucher in 5th is the only driver to have won more than one. He has won 3. Adam Wilson-Weir gets to the inside, and that is Ben Oucher collected as Nick Clibbins goes through, but it was Alan McCain who had contact with Adam Wilson-Weir. And it was just the smallest of nudges. He pushes himself wide onto the grass and on his way back collects Oucher, and a big hit, and Ben Oucher finds himself falling. And I have to say at this point, the commentator's curse is real, isn't it? Adam Wilson-Weir got caught up in a crash after we talked to him in race 1. He crashed in race 2. Ben Oucher, we talked to him after race 2, and he's found himself in a crash in race 3, and that was Matt Gatter doing a 360. Avoided the wall there, but issues for Ben Oucher. He does have a meatball that he will need to serve in this one. Adam Wilson-Weir, though, now looking to get past Benjamin Gregory and try to catch up to Isaac Doble, but there's contact there. And Wilson-Weir slides just a little bit. Will lose time coming onto the main straight now. And in fact, lose so much time, Nick Clibbins is going to have another opportunity. Clibbins came home 4th in race 1, 5th in race 2. He's looking for the podium in this final race of the day, to the inside of Adam Wilson-Weir. And he does make the move through into 3rd position, and we try to hold that for the time being as we now come through the middle section on the lap, with Adam Wilson-Weir chasing down on Nick Clibbins and heading up now towards turn number 4. Ride on board with Adam Wilson-Weir, who's at the rear of this train for the lead. Isaac Doble leading the way ahead of Benjamin Gregory. Nick Clibbins in 3rd position. Adam Wilson-Weir in P4 right now. We come through the final corner. A slightly tighter line there from Gregory. Is he slow? He certainly is. Nick Clibbins is going to carry the speed here on the left-hand side and move through into 2nd position. But they are going to go side by side up towards turn number 1. Is Gregory going to stay on that line? He certainly is. Side by side between Gregory and Clibbins for P number 2. Adam Wilson-Weir sits behind, can see this ahead of him and thinking, what am I going to do to find my way through? He likes the technical section. He gets some good pace there. Out of turn number 3, he looks to the outside, but Clibbins is going to the outside of Gregory. Wilson-Weir, though, keeps it there to the outside of Nick Clibbins. And Adam Wilson-Weir finds himself back into 3rd position. Will now try to catch once again to Benjamin Gregory and get into 2nd position here in this fight. And that's Clibbins onto the grass. That is really going to help Wilson-Weir in just thinking about focusing ahead of him instead of behind him. We come over the timing line. We're about halfway through this race now, about 12 more minutes left to go, as we've got 12 more laps left to go. Up towards turn number 1 here in this fight, Mark Kent is trying to keep Nigel Stock behind, but he runs very wide to turn number 1, and Nigel Stock finds himself up into 5th position. McCain, Guthrie, Dory, all of them out of this race. And at the moment, our live championship is going to be affected by this, because the gap between Oucher and Wilson-Weir is closing. Wilson-Weir getting the fastest lap right now. If he can find his way to the lead in this one, he would actually find himself in the lead of the championship if Ben Oucher was to finish this one in 12th position. If he was to gain up an extra position, he would gain an extra 3 points to his name. He would be just a singular point behind Ben Oucher, who's leading heading into the weekend. Will he lead heading out of the weekend? Wilson-Weir moves to the left-hand side. There's a little bit of a nudge there. with Gregory. Gregory holds the inside though, and they are going to run side by side. Wilson Weir on the outside line here. It's going to switch in his favour through turn number 2 for Wilson Weir, but Gregory keeps himself inside, and it remains neck and neck in this fight for P number 2. Adam Wilson Weir looks to the inside now and will gain the position on Benjamin Gregory. It is 2.2 seconds up to Isaac Doble. He can all but wave goodbye to the race victory in this one. As we come out of the final turn, Adam Wilson Weir running around in P number 2. It will keep him second in the championship. A singular point behind Ben Oucher right now. If Oucher falls behind Dan Beckett, they would be tied on 150 points. But this is Benjamin Gregory looking to find his way back past Wilson Weir. To the outside he goes. Wilson Weir trying to keep it tight on the inside line here. It's the opposite of what they were doing on the previous lap of asking. A lot of curving there from Gregory. Will it give Wilson Weir enough speed on the exit of 3? It certainly does. And Adam Wilson Weir keeps himself ahead of Benjamin Gregory now, up towards the braking zone, and he goes towards the outside, and this is inviting Nick Clibbins in, and this fight for P2 is giving Isaac Doble the opportunity to take what will be a second win this season and become only the second person this season to take a double victory alongside Ben Oucher. Of course, Oucher's had to visit pit lane with the damage that he picked up in the contact with Alan McCain. And right now, just circulating for the points. He knows, we talked to him about the points before the start of the race, he knows the points are keeping him in it for the time being, and he knows he needs to finish all the races he possibly can. Mark Kent looks to the inside of Nigel Stock. They swapped about 3 laps ago with Kent to the inside of Stock. This time by, and that was a replica of the overtake that happened a few laps ago, but the reversed positions. Nick Clibbins then looking to try and get back past Benjamin Gregory all over the rear end as we prepare to go to 8 laps to go. We head up towards the end of the 3rd and final race of the day. If you are missing out on NXTGEN Racing action and you want to see more, check out the GT3 Championship this Thursday. We head to Road America for the 3rd round of competition as we head out for the first endurance race of the season. And the NXTCCs will be back in a week's time next Tuesday as we return to our usual format of 3 races. Make sure you're joining Alex Everett on Thursday for the GT3s, joining Paul Walsh next Tuesday for the touring cars. But it is Nick Clibbins to the outside of Benjamin Gregory, Gregory to the outside of Adam Wilson Weir, and that is going to be Clibbins backing out of this one behind, but he can see the fight going on ahead. He's going to try and get involved in the fight. Gregory sticks to the inside of Wilson Weir, carries a lot of speed there, but Wilson Weir tucks the inside of turn number 3. Gregory has the pace though, so does Clibbins, as that is going to be Wilson Weir falling down. Will he lose it down to 4th position here as Nick Clibbins fights him hard for 3rd place. They are still side by side. Could this invite Benjamin Gregory to pull away as Wilson Weir's to the inside of Clibbins? There's just enough room for him on the inside, but he will fall down to 4th position, and the gap up to Gregory has opened up just a little bit here as we go on to the 17th lap of asking, with Doble crossing the timing line about almost 5 seconds ahead of these guys right now. We head on to the brakes, and it is Isaac Doble leading the race, but the battle for P2 is Gregory, Clibbins, Wilson Weir. Nigel Stock has now fallen behind Michael Wade after losing out to Kent a couple of laps ago. This is how he did that one. Michael Wade to the inside of Nigel Stock up towards turn number 1, and that's Michael Wade up into 6th position and looking to get some good points for his championship contention. We come through the opening 3 corners of the lap, and it is relatively close in this fight. Adam Wilson Weir has dropped about a second off of the fight for P2 now. He's still taking bonus points for fastest lap, of course. Perhaps Gregory and Clibbins both kicking up the grass there as we go to 6 laps to go in this race right now. And the fight for P number 2 is very much on. The fight for the win was lost a number of laps ago, and Nigel Stock following behind Michael Wade there up towards turn number 1, got very close but couldn't do anything to make his move through, and will have to remain behind, unfortunately for him, as we come in towards turn number 2 and turn number 3 here. As it continues to be a very close fight up on that podium, and Adam Wilson-Weir is slowly pulling himself back into it as well, and as long as he's there in that last lap or two to really give it a go and really fight it out, I don't think you've got anything to worry about if you are Adam Wilson-Weir at this stage. He still has the chance as he pulls it in within a couple of tenths of a second, and that is Nick Clibbins with a slowdown 3 times. Do you know what? Is it a slowdown now? Because 3 times Clibbins has pulled away and given up podium positions. In all 3 races, Clibbins has given up podium positions. And I'm not sure why. Whether, has it just been he's been that unlucky that in all 3 races he has picked up slowdowns that have demoted him off of the podium? Or has he just backed out of it? Well, it's an interesting thought as to what's going on there. There is no doubt about that. But it does mean that Adam Wilson-Weir once again has an opportunity to get into second place past Benjamin Gregory as we come up to 4 laps to go. I can't believe it. This is just flying by. I love these short circuits because, yes, you've got a huge lap count number. 23 laps sounds like a lot. It sounds like you're going to be out there for a very, very long time. But actually, in actual fact, it's not that much. It's because each lap goes away so quickly, it actually makes it feel a lot quicker that the race is going by. Right, Adam Wilson will be hoping the race doesn't go by too quickly, and he is going to try and get into second place once more, and so that he doesn't lose out in the points that are on offer there, which will get him up towards Ben Oucher. Oucher, though, has got past Joshua Downing, will help himself out in that championship, and with a few laps to go here, you'll see that's how the championship stands at the moment, and it will keep Ben Oucher 2 points clear of Wilson-Weir if Adam Wilson-Weir is able to get into second position. He looks to the outside of Benjamin Gregory here, swaps towards the inside, can't do it, has to stay behind for the time being as we come through the final turn. 3 to go, and that is Gregory very wide. Wilson-Weir moves to the right. Gregory wanted to go defensive there. Wilson-Weir put his nose in just enough to get to the inside line. That'll give him the preferred line up towards turn number 1. And is this going to be Nick Clibbins getting involved, making it 3 wide? He breaks just a little bit earlier there, and that is Gregory trying to get himself turned in to defend from Nick Clibbins, but it's not going to work out. There's a lot of curbing there from Gregory, and that is Nick Clibbins around fighting in 4th position. He'll fall behind Kent, Wade and Stock and down to 7th place. It is now just a fight between Adam Wilson-Weir and Benjamin Gregory. Wilson-Weir won the race back in the opening round of the season. Gregory has not had the luck. This is I think this is Benjamin Gregory's strongest performance of the season. As we come across the timing line, it is 2 laps to go. And Mark Kent is keeping Michael Wade and Nigel Stock at bay as well. In the distance, you can see Nick Clibbins, who's having to try and recover from this one. This is what happened to Clibbins. Was it just a bit too much of the curbing? It was contact there from Gregory. And then, yeah, it's what we've seen a number of cars do. And that was almost identical to Pittas's spin in, Pittas's spin, no, Berry's spin, sorry. Almost identical to Berry's spin in race number 2. It's just he managed to keep it, well, he managed to turn it back the right way without having to do a dodgy rejoin. This is Michael Wade, though, keeping it ahead of Nigel Stock as we head up towards the final 2 corners and the white flag lap in the final race of the day. Ben Oucher has fallen a lap down as Isaac Doble has lapped the championship leader, who is just looking to get points here, and he will be taking points for 11th place right now, which in our live championship, we just have a look here, are 5 points, which are beneficial because those 5 points are keeping him ahead of Adam Wilson-Rear right now, who's gaining 26 points this race. I hit the wrong button and accidentally got rid of everything. I do apologise. Let's get that back as we come around the final lap of asking. The gap's just a little bit too big for anything to be done, it looks like, in this final race of the day. Isaac Doble then, he took the win in the first race, and he will become only the 2nd man this season to take 2 wins. And he comes around the final turn. Isaac Doble will win race number 3 here at round number 3. Adam Wilson-Weir will keep Benjamin Gregory at bay, and Mark Kent will cross the line in P4 ahead of Michael Wade Stock, and then the recovering Clibbins down in 7th. Jack Pittas, issues for him early doors. 8th position, McDougall as well. 9th position in this one. Matt Gatter will come across the line in 10th place as Beckett crosses the line in 13th. We saw Oucher in 11th, Joshua Downing in 12th. But that will be the end of the evening. We'll have a quick look at our race. We'll have a quick look. We will have a quick look at our race results. Apologies there. It looked like we had a loose connection with our cable. Hopefully we fixed that now. We will have a look at our race results then at the end of that one. Then we'll have a look at our championship results. And we'll have a quick word with some of our drivers out of that one. So, first of all, let's have a look at our results out of the final race of the day. It was a victory once again for Isaac Doble. Adam Wilson-Weir getting good points to his name once more in P2. Benjamin Gregory sits in 3rd ahead of Mark Kent. Michael Wade in 5th position ahead of Nigel Stock, and Nick Clibbins crossed the line in 7th. Jack Pittas crossed the line in 8th. McDougall and Gatter rounded out your top 10. Ben Oucher, Joshua Downing and Dan Beckett all a lap down after issues early doors after the safety car for the 3 of them. Alan McCain out early in the same, McCain going out in the same instant that demoted Oucher down the order. Guthrie out early doors as well. Dory out due to connection issues at the very start of that one. What an evening of racing it was, though, and it has had an impact on our championship. Ben Oucher now only sits 2 points clear of Adam Wilson-Weir in peak number 2. Jack Pittas holding on to 3rd with 141 points to his name. Isaac Doble sits with 107 points on his name, and with some great results here, we'll be looking to try and catch up towards the front. Of course, it was Doble who won the Pro Championship in the MX-5s the last time we were out in the Sport Series. No classes this time, though, but he is showing some good pace. Lee Horn not here today, dropping down to 5th in the championship, a single point clear of Phil McDougall. William Guthrie sits in 7th right now out of Ellen McCain, just a single point separating them, and Jamie Dory a further 1 point behind. Nigel Stock rounds out your top 10 in your championship. It is then Mark Kent in 11th out of Ross Gillette. Joshua Downing sits in 13th position and point clear of Nick Clibbins. Benjamin Gregory in 15th out of Michael Wade and Matt Gatter. Drivers not here in the final race or across the whole evening. Matthew Jordan, 18 points to his name ahead of Hernandez is 7. Jack Brown's 15. Is then Carl Thompson with 14. Lewis Mason with 10. And Dan Beckett with 3. Is Jonathan Berry with 2 points to his name. No points on the board for Mark Sykes. Out of that one then, let's have a word with a few of our apologies. Let's have a word with a few of our drivers out of that one, because it was an interesting evening of racing. A lot of drivers have jumped away following that, but we will go and talk to the man that... well, do you know what, actually? We'll talk to the man that was fighting someone different. We'll go talk to Ben Gregory, who managed to come home in P number 3. In that one, it was a fight all race long with Adam Wilson-Weir and Nick Clibbins. Clibbins falling down late on that one, but Gregory, you were fighting for second. It didn't quite come out for you, but a podium position.
Yeah, no, that was quite fun. Yeah, first race as well. So it's compared to previously, like I haven't driven these since the update, so this has been quite fun to get into and muck around with.
Yeah, they have had a massive change, of course, since the update, and it's nice to see you out in the series. You've had an interesting evening of races throughout, though, because you came 6th in race number 1, 8th in race number 2. Were you expecting to have a fight for the podium in this final race?
Honestly, no. I was expecting death and destruction, but no, I had a lot of fun when I did get up there. Didn't expect the safety car, but yeah, that was really good respect from everyone. I feel bad for bouncing the curb and hitting Clibbins, unfortunately, and broke a little bit of his steering, but it's all good. We had a lot of fun at least, so.
Well, sometimes does happen. Those rubbing incidents are racing, of course, and it does happen, those small bits of contact. But you had some great racing throughout the course of the evening. And are you looking forward to the rest of the championship? Are you thinking now, this is a fun car to be in, I'm going to get out there? Hockenheim in 2 weeks, of course.
Oh, Hockenheim's going to be fun. I didn't realise how big the track is actually going to end up being. I just had a look. It's quite a long one. There's a lot of drafting is going to be quite entertaining, especially into the stadium section at the hairpin. So yeah, that should be quite entertaining actually.
All right, with those results then, a 6th and an 8th and a 3rd position in the podium in the final race. Benjamin Gregory, a great job for you.
Thank you.
Ben Gregory there, coming home 3rd place in the final race of the day. And talk about how big Hockenheim is. It is going to be a draft circuit. There is no doubt about that one. We have some great ones. There's going to be a lot of bump drafting, a lot of overtaking, changing positions. Anyone can win next week. There is no doubt about that. Right then, let's have one last talk with one of our drivers, and we will talk to a man who did not have a great final race of the day, and I do apologise, Ben Archer. It seems like commentator's curse is a real thing, because I spoke to you after race number 2, and you got caught up in the accident with McCain in that final race. Not the points you wanted, but you are holding the lead in the championship by 2 points.
Yeah, well, one of those things, isn't it? I'm gonna be blaming you when I get back to my trailer, but yeah, it's one of those things, mate. I thought I'd left him enough space to rejoin. I just hadn't quite accounted for the fact that he was as sideways as he was, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it could have gone better. I had decent pace and I'd made my way up quite well, but yeah.
Yeah, you came home in 11th place then. It was points. It was 5 points in that final race. You are still leading the championship, but of course, the bad result doesn't help you too much. We go to Hockenheim in 2 weeks' time. How are you feeling about that one? We were speaking to Benjamin Gregory. He said that it's going to be a lot of drafting. It certainly is. Normally means in races like that, anyone can win. What are your thoughts about it?
I'm not a huge fan of Hockenheim. It depends which layout we're going to be doing. I haven't really looked, but yeah, it'll be an interesting one. I think Gregory's right. It will be a bit of drafting, especially if we're doing the full layout. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Right then, we'll leave you to it. Well done on your results in the first 2 races, of course. One to forget in race number 3, but we'll be back at it in the next one, and hopefully some strong results for you.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Ben Archer, you could definitely hear how dejected he sounded in that interview compared to the one after race number 2. But we will call it there then. We will be back, as I say, in 2 weeks' time at the Hockenheim Ring. We then head to Zolder for round 5, Willow Springs for round 6, and we end it all off at Interlagos. But here from Joseph Wright Broadcasting, we hope you have an absolutely fantastic week ahead of you. Don't forget, on Joseph Wright Broadcasting, we have got lots of touring car action coming your way. Touring car races, 2 different leagues on Friday, plus racing on Sunday as well. We've also got the Matt Malone Patron League on Saturday. We have got the next round of our WEC Classic League on Saturday as well. Make sure you're not missing any of those by hitting the follow button on the Twitch page, hitting the subscribe button over on our YouTube page as well. If you're watching Next Gen Racing and wanting to see more of Next Gen Racing stuff, then on Thursday we have the first of the endurance rounds in the GT3 Championship, brought to you by Alex Everett. He will have a great broadcast coming your way. I always enjoy watching them back afterwards. I'm normally at the back of the races, so if you're looking in the bronze category, at the back of the field, that's where I'll be on Thursday. Make sure you're checking that one out. And of course, we return to the NXTCC in a week's time as we return to our usual 3-race format. And again, you'll normally find me at the back of the amateur class in that one as well. Although I've had a bit of better luck in both of those races, both those series. Yeah, here and thereabouts. Anyway, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for the next round of the Toyota GR86 Cups. Make sure you don't miss out. All of those other leagues and broadcasts coming your way, so get followed, subscribed on all of the things, all of the socials, all of the YouTubes and Twitches and everything like that, so you don't miss out on any of it. We'll be back, though, next time. So, until then, have a wonderful evening, and goodbye. Goodbye.